piecewise functions, and in this case we are ensuring continuity. And remember from last time, in order to ensure continuity, you just need to check the changeover point, which is going to be here when x equals 4. So we've got our two functions. Now the top function y1 is just x squared plus 7, and the second y2 is equal to x minus a squared. And so we're just going to sub in the difficult point, x equals 4, and see what it should equal. So when x equals 4, for y1, 4 squared plus 7, and in this case we've got 16 plus 7, so it's 23. Okay, so y1 is equal to 23. Now over here, we know that if we want continuity, then when x equals 4, the changeover point, this tells us that y1 needs to equal y2. The two functions need to agree. If they don't agree, then we're going to run into problems. So let's enforce it. So this time we're going to sub in that since y1 needs to equal y2, and since y1 equals 23, we're going to sub in y2 equals 73, and x is equal to 4. And so we get 23 on the left is equal to 4 minus a squared. Now it's at this point, it's at this point we could think about the positive or the negative. In this case, we're actually going to get two solutions, because whenever we take a square root, if it's an even root, meaning 2, 4, or 6, 8, etc., then we've always got that plus or minus. So the square root of 23 plus or minus is equal to 4 minus a. Okay. I'm going to move away my little thought experiment from earlier. Next step is to subtract 4 from both sides. We get plus or minus the square root of 23 minus 4 is equal to negative a, and then we can divide both sides by negative 1. Interesting thing happens when we do that. Does anyone know what happens when we divide a plus or minus sign by negative 1? Well, it can flip and become a minus or plus. It doesn't actually do anything, because the plus just becomes minus and the minus just becomes plus. So the only sign that does actually change is that it becomes plus 4. And so we end up with two solutions. One when a is equal to the square root of 23 plus 4, and the second option for a would have to be when a is equal to 23 minus the square root of 23 plus 4. Okay, so a little bit of a more complicated answer. Let's have a look on Desmos and see what it looks like then. Alrighty, so as you can see, we've got the green function, which is x squared plus 7, and then we've got the black function, which is x minus a squared, and once again, we've got this little slider that we can play with. And we can see that the first solution must happen around here. Which is approximately at about negative 0.8. And so that must be one of the two solutions, and in fact we can work out which it is by just typing into Desmos. We can use like a calculator. Squirt will get you the squirt button, and then 23, and then it was plus 4. So there's one solution at 8.7, and then the other one is going to be at negative square root of 23 plus 4. So there's one solution at just about negative 0.8, but there should be a second solution when I keep increasing the value of a. And you can indeed see that it's going to join up at about 8.8. So in fact, in this particular case, there were two ways of making it continuous. Either a is is equal to the square root of 23 plus 4, or when a was equal to 0.8, or more accurately, negative 8, negative 0.8, or negative 0.8 negative square root of 23 plus 4. Okay, so this is a classic example of two solutions occurring. Alrighty, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.